right now. And you may have all the good intentions in the world, but if you're not doing it according to God's will and in His timing, all you're trying to do is control. Moses, he wanted to make a name for himself. He wanted to be the hero right away. His motives were wrong. And that's why his method got off track and his timing got off track. Waiting. It's for everybody to grow in patience. You who see the vision, you got to learn to be patient. You who don't see nothing, God is still working on you. And everybody around you needs to leave you alone so that God can still chisel, 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 chisel. He'll get through. And when He allows consequences in people's lives, you got to know that's part of the chiseling, that's part of the journey, that's part of what they need to happen so that when they get to their destination, they appreciate getting to their destination. God has a season for everything. Remember Ecclesiastes 3? There's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant, a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal. Those are seasons set by God. He knows when the right time for all of that is. And He's in control. When we try to make it happen, we're getting out of God's will. We're being premature. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I was telling you about how the walls came down. He told them circle around the 6th day, on the 7th day, circle around 7 times, and then shout. And I said, well, why? And I said, it's because that's when He was ready. Who was controlling it? The Lord was controlling it. So you're saying, well, when is it going to happen? When is this person going to wake up? When are they going to act right? When are they going to have some sense? When are they going to make the right choices? Whatever. When God's ready to change their heart. If you could have changed their heart and their mind and their will, it would have been done 10 years ago. You have to let God work His stuff. You gotta let Him do His stuff. And it's not that He's telling you not to do anything. I told you, we gotta grow. We gotta grow in what? Patience, faithfulness, commitment, service, prayer. So you busy. You don't want to be busy. You just like them to go ahead and change so you don't have to go through all of that.
Right?
Yeah. In that case, who's doing all the growing? They are. But you just fine all by yourself. You don't need to grow. Not so, God says.
Not so.
You know why else? Because God wants you to know that when it happens, it wasn't because of you. Amen. It was when He was ready. He don't need you. He just needs you to pray and love Him. Stay committed. Don't give up on Him. Have hope. Stand in faith, but get out of the way. There's a difference. Waiting builds appreciation. Remember the prodigal son? He demanded his inheritance before its time. He wanted it now. He wasn't going to wait for his father to die. So his father gave it to him, and he went off and spent all he had on women and wine and his friends, and he ended up in a pig pit. And God put him in some serious time out. And what did he learn during that weight? The scripture says one day he lifted his head in realization of what his arrogance and pride and foolishness had done. He said to himself, servants in my Father's house are better treated than I am. So who did he learn to appreciate during his weight?
His Father.
His Father. Sometimes God is allowing a weight in our lives because we haven't learned to appreciate the blessings that we already have. Sometimes a weight is so that we'll be able to better appreciate a blessing when we do get it. God did not immediately rescue the brother because in his wisdom he knew that more important than changing his circumstance was transforming his character. This young man had been selfish and impatient, cold-hearted, insensitive to anybody else's needs but his own. So life taught him. God allowed life to teach him some hard lessons, and everybody left him. And he got hungry. And in Luke 11 it says he began to hurt. It said he signed on with a citizen there who assigned him to the fields to feed the slop to the pigs, and he was so hungry he would have eaten the corn cobs and the pig slop, but nobody would give him any of that, and that brought him to his senses. That's again where he said, the farm hands working for my father sit down to 3 meals a day, and here I am starving to death. I'm going back to my father, and I'll say to him, Father, I've sinned against God. I've sinned before you. I don't deserve to be called your son. Take me on as a hired hand. And he got right up and went home to his father. Waiting can transform our character. I remember many years ago that I worked for the state. I had no appreciation for my job. The work was so tedious, repetitive, boring. I wasn't interested in it. I wasn't interested in my co-workers other than somebody who needed their soul saved. But that's all I knew about them. That's all I cared about them. I didn't appreciate the decent salary I had. I didn't appreciate the great benefits I had. It meant nothing to me. Like they come along every day. And in the past couple of years when I've been looking for a job, I look back on that season when I had blessings that I didn't appreciate. And now, don't you know, I appreciate them. I said, Lord, if you should open that door again. So now, this weight and the things that I've gone through have shown me what a true blessing is. So that when it comes back your way, you're like, wow, you're a blessing. I'm not going to take you for granted again. One thing that has happened in my weight is that I've grown. I've seen God's faithfulness. I've seen his provision. I've sensed his presence. I've developed a level of trust that wouldn't have happened if I had not gone through the past several years. And I've learned who Jesus is. He taught me so many things. How are we doing on time?
1:20.
Okay. I know you want things to change. You want your family to change, you want your spouse to change, you want your kids to change, you want your parents to change, you want your church to change, you want change. And that's good, but remember that's your vision. That's not the journey. So I want you to leave today saying, okay, Lord, I'm on a journey. I see where the people I love could be. I see where I could be. I see the destination. How do I get there, Lord? How do I get there? I can quickly tell you how they need to get here. You know, they need to do this and they need to do that and they need to get a job and they need to, you know, reconcile and they need to forgive and they need to pay their bills and they need to get out of my house and they need to whatever. I can clearly see what they need to do to get to my vision. But what do I need to do, Lord? What do I need to grow in? Do I need to grow in appreciating the blessings that I have? Do I need to grow in being more dependent on you? Do I need to grow in respecting your timing? Do I need to grow in patience? Do I need to grow in humility? Do I need to grow in faith? Fill me with what I need to grow in, so that when I get to the vision you have for me and my family and my job and my church, that I'm ready to enter in to our promised land. Joshua said at the end in Joshua 23:14, he says, God's word never fails. He said it this way. He says, now behold, today I am going the way of all the earth, and you know in all your hearts and all your souls that not one word of all the good words which the Lord your God has promised concerning you has failed. All have been fulfilled for you. Not one of them has failed. Amen. God will never fail you. Amen. But you have to choose faith. The woman with the issue of blood, she chose faith. Caleb, waiting 45 years, he chose faith. I'm going to trust you, Lord. I'm going to trust you to keep your promises to me, to take care of everything and everyone I trust you with. I love how the Message says it. And then the worship team can come up. In Jeremiah 29:11, the Message says, God says to us, I know what I am doing. I have it all planned out. Plans to take care of you, not abandon you. Plans to give you the future you hope for. Amen. Amen. Lord God, we thank you for your word.